Remember, Saeed says that he'd rather sell his soul than trust Ben or work for him. But in his flash forward, he's working for Ben. I think Saeed hates Ben more than anyone else on the island. This decision could be Saeed's first step to eventually working for him. Also notice the captain when Saeed's saying Michael's a traitor. Just by his expression, to me it seemed like he knew exactly who Michael was and wasn't surprised at all by this news. Earlier, he intentionally calls Johnson over to clean up the mess to see if Michael's ex-friends would approach him. And remember, I told you to keep in mind how he looks over his shoulder to glance at them. We go back to the island where Carl, Alex, and Danielle are walking through the jungle. Oh, and what's this? Oh, look, it's Alex's microphone. It's definitely not an earring because it's in front of her ear. Oh, and look at this. It definitely looks like Carl has a hearing aid. Or perhaps a flesh-colored earplug. Carl's talking about Ben, and he says he has a bad feeling about this, saying that what if Ben's playing them? And right after that, we hear a vip, and Carl gets shot. Alex and Danielle hide behind a tree, and Danielle gets up and eventually gets shot too. Then Alex stands up and says, "Wait, don't shoot, I'm Ben's daughter." And then the predator doesn't shoot. Boom, lost. I like Carl, but I'm okay with the fact that he died. But Rousseau, if she is actually dead, I think it's a big mistake. She is one of the most intriguing characters on the show, at least to me. And we all wanted to see a flashback of her, of how she got there in her first few weeks on the island. So I don't think she is dead, though. So hopefully we'll be able to see that still. So much was made in this issue about what wouldn't a man do for his son. And now I suspect that we're about to find out what a man would be willing to do for his daughter. Now the big question is, who shot them? We can see the shooter barely in this picture right here. The only two reasonable options I could come up with would be Kimi. As we know, he left with Frank on the helicopter at the beginning of last episode, or by one of Ben's men. This whole killing thing could in fact be a setup by Ben. It could be an ambush. Now the reasons why I think it could be the case that it was Ben, they make a point of showing him glaring at Carl at the beginning of this episode, and as we know, he's been itching to get rid of Carl for a really long time after the brainwashing in room 23 that we saw. And then also Danielle's not really on his list of favorites either. And the map he gives them could very well be a fake. Just probably sent them to a spot where he knows this will happen. Whether it's Kimi or Ben's man, I'm pretty sure, almost positive, that Ben knew this would happen in advance. Also, why would someone from the freighter be lying in wait in between the barracks and the temple, waiting for people to come and just pick them off one by one? It doesn't really make sense. And it would also make sense that the others would have scouts around the perimeter of the temple. They know that Carl's a traitor and that Rousseau isn't really one of them, so it could make sense that they would pick them off. And also, if your mission is to get Ben, why would you murder people right away when they're probably the fastest way to get you to Ben? Wouldn't the better course of action be to capture, then interrogate? And then ultimately, in the end, when you're done, you can kill them anyway, because your job's to eliminate all the people. So what's gained by gunning down potential leads to Ben in the middle of the jungle? I'm still 50-50 as to whether it could be one of Ben's men or Kimi, though. And reasons it could be Kimi. We see him leaving last episode. They make a point of showing him leaving last episode at night, and Frank is apprehensive to what they're going to be doing. So that could be very well be Kimi shooting them. And they also make a big point of showing Kimi shooting things this episode, which could directly tie to the fact that he is the one that killed them later in the episode. And the last clue is it to being one of Kimi's men or Kimi himself is after Carl dies, we see Alex and Rousseau getting back up trying to hide, and multiple shots are fired. Now if it was one of Ben's men, I don't think that would happen, taking the chance that it could hit Alex. I also don't think that the others would shoot from that far distance. I think they would come up, get different guys, and hold them hostage somehow. But Kimi's men, they keep shooting until they hear Alex say, "I'm Ben's daughter," and then they stop shooting. So the writers could go either way. Either way would make perfect sense to me. I thought right after the episode it was Kimi, one of his men, and then I switched to Ben's men. Now I'm kind of back to Kimi, so it keeps switching for me. But again, it would make perfect sense either way they go. And then we get confirmation from the preview for in 4 weeks that Eren is one of the 6, as I thought from last recap. To the questions about Michael being one of them, no one even knows about him off the island. As we know from his mom, he gets off before the big rescue, and that the media will cover. As for Ben and Tom being off the island, no one knows about them either. And as we hear from Tom, they can come and go whenever they want. Okay, so that's it for the episode 8 recap of Kevin Johnson. Unfortunately, we have to wait 4 more weeks for episode 9 to air. But what I was thinking of doing is making like a special topic video in between this break, maybe like the 2nd or 3rd week. So give me ideas on what to do. I was thinking along the lines of the Black Smoke, or Whispers, or Jacob, or Connections, or the Numbers. Just something that's a heavy topic that you guys want to know more about, and I'll do it. Whatever everyone wants to know most about, I think I'll pick that one. Looking forward to seeing episode 9 in 4 weeks, and I'll see you guys soon. God bless.